Hi everybody, I'm Ilabasmati, and today I'm going to talk about San Nicholas di Bari, the Fra Angélico, 1434. The title is The Holy Bisman. It's the saint of the Bisman, San Nicholas, but it doesn't exist like San George every day that I talk about. Sometimes it doesn't exist, the saint. How is possible? And New York, Santa Claus, I don't know, Belgium, Holland. It's very famous in Russia, Russia. The Tsar Nicholas. And it doesn't exist. Well, I'm going to begin. In this table is over wood. There are two miracles of Saint Nicholas. The saint appeared twice in the sky on the right, helping the ship packed, and on the lower left, thanking a captain who has given him part of his cargo of grain. Legend has that the saint multiplies the grain in a miracle, so saving the inhabitant of the city of Myra. I don't know if Myra in Turkey is Smyrna. I'm not sure. Starving to death. Originally, the panel is franked by two other large pieces that also tell the miracle of Saint Nicholas. Each one measures 34 cm by 60, and they make up the front part of a predella. Rectangular is the same name than in Spanish, predella. A rectangular lower end of altarpiece. The three main panels of the same measure, more than 1 meter high and slow on a golden background. The Virgin Mary with Jesus and four saints in the traditional sculptural posture. Well, the altarpiece is the symbol in the 19th century. Two panels are currently exhibited in the Vatican Pinacoteca in Rome, and the other piece in Perugia. I went to Perugia to learn Italian. The language is difficult. Well, the altarpiece was commissioned in 1437 for the chapel of San Nicola in the Dominican Church. Painting monks from Fiesole. I went to Fiesole near Firenze. Take care of it. Fra Angélico, the painter, was born in. Fra Angélico is not the real name. Is I don't know. Benedetto, his brother. No. When he died, 15 years after, Vasari tell him Fra Angélico, but it's not the real names. Well, Fra Angélico was born around 1400 and died in 1455. His name was Guido. Oh, Guido. Guido di Pietro. And when he entered the convent of San Dominicos, he adopted the name of Fra Giovanni, but not Fra Angélico. Later, Fra Angélico, but when he died 15 years after, because he always was praying angelical. Well, he painted the altarpiece in a troubled age, both politically and artistically. The merchant Cosimo de' Medicis has just seized the economical and political power of the city republic of Firenze. And in 1436, the Cathedral of Florence, with its dome, symbol of the new trend, the Renaissance, was consecrated. Finish. And the legends around the life of Saint Nicholas, the popular patron saint of merchants and sailors. It's not. It's Poseidon or Neptuno that changed the name. A monk from the Quattrocento Fra Angélico captured some of his miracles in scenes of such beauty that they seem to have come from paradise. When Fra Angélico painted the altarpiece, Saint Nicholas is one of the most popular non-Bible saints. In the golden Saint Nicholas is from the 3rd century. And the Golden Legend, a collection of legends from the 13th century, more than a dozen of miracle and pious acts are attributed to him. Only in Germany, Netherlands, and France, there are more than 2,000 monuments in his honor around the year of 1500. After more, but Saint Nicholas is never officially canonized, and most likely never even exist. Moses doesn't exist to nobody exists. How is possible? Well, rather, what happened is that a character is invented to give life to various miracles stories. Someone who materializes in the figure of Bishop Nicholas de Myra. That I don't know is Smyrna. Myra is a city or is a town of Turkey. The Golden Legend tells that the bishop died in 343, exactly on December 6th, the day of Saint Nicholas. December 6th was already a date set prior of the spread of Christianity. In the Mediterranean, the winter storm begin at that time of year, at the beginning of December. It's real. Navigation becomes more dangerous at the height of overpowering forces. Natural and marine acquires more importance. The ancient people prayed to Poseidon and Neptuno. Saint Nicholas take on the role of these pagan gods and become the patron of the sailors. The importance of this cult is also linked to the geographical location of the city of Myra that lies in Turkey. Ships leave the port of Myra for Alexandria. They do not follow the route that runs parallel to the coast as was customary then, but instead sails directly south without the help of landmarks. Therefore, it is understandable that sailor and captain identify the same homeland as the port of departure for such a dangerous journey that they call journeys to the abyss. The history of the salvation of the sailor is one of the oldest legends about Saint Nicholas, although nothing is said about the situation in which the ship is found. At least No, it's fun. At least it's not indicated in the Golden Legend. For the narrator, the only important thing is that the saint is invoked, that he appears and holds the sails, ropes, and other implement of the ship, and immediately afterward the sea is calm. The painter reproduced the situation in more details. The sailboat is propelled through the rough sea toward the rugged coastline, while a sea monster pokes its head out of the water. The miracle of St. Nicholas consists of blowing the wind from the coast and propelling the saint toward the stern, something practically impossible. Cinderella, younger, where the sail is young is attacked to the front part of the mast and cannot roti backward. However, the saint touched her with the staff, and the impossible happens. The figure of Saint Nicholas first became popular in the Byzantine Empire, when Islam made it waste Italian ships seized the remains of the saint from Myra and took them to Bari, where they have been resting since 1087. The sailor spread his fame from the port of Bari to northern Europe, and he became the patron of the Hanseatic League, Hansa, it's Holland, Germany, the north of Europe, as well as of later New York City. He's the only saint to survive the Reformation in Protestant areas. At present, he only poses problem for Catholics, since he is never canonized, rendering his aura of holiness illegitimate. The legend tells of the famine that the population suffer, and so I feel exhausted, suffer, and that in the port of Miraship we were the to transport into other ports. St. Nicholas asked the sailor to save the starving population, giving them only 100 measures of wheat for each boat. The sailor claimed, "Father, we dare not do it because the grain has been measured in Alexandria, and we must deliver into the imperial granaries." To which St. Nicholas responded, "Do what I tell you, and I swear by the power of God that you will, miracle, you will not suffer any loss before the emperor matters." And so it happens. St. Nicholas also multiplies the amount of grain in the city that is enough to supply the inhabitant of Myra for 2 years, and in addition there is seed left to sow. The only historical data in the legend is the transportation of the wheat from Alexandria to Constantinople via Myra. Cereals long served as taxes on spice used for the supply of the imperial capital. Fra Angélico, however, doesn't refer to Constantinople, but to the capital of the Empire Occidental and his own church. In the one of the pennants of the ship appear the inscription SPQR, Senatus Populusque Romanorum in Latin, the abbreviation of the Senate and town of the Romans. The container used to fill grain sack was used for measuring and was one of the main instruments in the grain trade. St. Nicholas asked for 100 measurements per ship, and the narrative point out that the grain was measured in Alexandria and that the meter was waiting in the imperial capital. Measurement very important since there were different types of valid measurement in different places, which were often used to obtain substantial benefit. The origin and great popularity of this legend are also closely linked to the reality of hunger, since the majority of the population pays it. Cereals were the main food, although the cities stockpile grain. Two consecutive bad harvests are enough to empty the granaries. On the other hand, the possibility of transporting food quickly are slim. Its successful trade can achieve up to 400% profit. Bread and cereal plays an essential role in the legend of Saint Nicholas. Indeed, at the beginning, it was even attributed function of the pagan gods of fertility. One of his attributes was two loaves that were thrown over the side of the ship when the storm arose, in the hope that the water would calm down. In a time marked by the constant threat of the hunger, the grain became a symbol of wealth, and Saint Nicholas, one of the saints who promote prosperity. He's not only the patron of seafarers, but also of merchants, especially those of transporters, guards, millers, I don't know, bakers, well, a lot of, I don't know how to explain, special millers, bakers, and brewers. It's very difficult. Some words in English is necessary to improve. Protect against death and loss, and give gold to poor girls so they can get married. Apparently, the medieval church completely preoccupied with the afterlife and asceticism needs a saint who doesn't despise material lack too much to attract his sheep. This table not only pays tribute to the holy people, but also to navigation and commerce. Ships and merchandising take up a good part of the painting. Sailors and merchants appear sailing under the threat of the storm. On the other hand, the captain in front of the bishop is the same side as the saint. Saint Nicholas become to the merchant javelin companion. This recognition of trade, especially overseas trade, is due to his great importance. It developed over the past centuries, among other places, in the Hanseatic League and transformed power relations in society. Along with the feudal lords, the city appeared with their economic power, and in the city republic like Firenze, the banker and merchant are the ones who monopolized all the power. Cosimo de' Medici became a political sovereign thanks to his banks and exchange houses, although he did not publicly demonstrate that power. Like all Florentine merchants, he dressed in the simple red cloak and black cap, just like the man kneeling on the right in the group of those who are praying. However, Christian merchants had problems of conscience. The church alone condemns any money business, calling it usury and accusing of the sin of greed. It's punishable by excommunication. excommunication, at the most horrible suffering in hell. Still, in the 12th century, it's in canonical code of Gratian. The American cannot please good or only with effort. In the 13th century, St. Thomas Aquino tried to adapt the ecclesiastical ideology to the new situation. When you trade for the common good, when you want to prevent the lack of what is necessary, then the profit will not be considered as an objective in itself, but only as a reward that the work requires. The absolution referred to the goods necessary to life, that is, has only a relative validity. Profit-seeking traders remain under suspicion of greed. To escape the punishment of hell and sorely, also a sense of social responsibility. Merchant did charity work. To put it in some way, Italian commercial companies grant good checking account, and it's not always as a simple formula, with the books and contract begin with the following words: in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ and the Blessed Virgin Mary. Most of the alms go to the church or to those in need through religions, charities. Cosimo de' Medici pays for the construction of churches, chapels, and convents, also hosting Pope Eugene IV for years, who has enemies in Rome. In 1436, he obtained permission from him to restore a ruined building in Florence and give it to the Dominicans of the Fiesole as a convent, among them in Fra Angélico, who is commissioned to paint the convent. Its fresco of San Marcos are still considered today as one of the greatest artistic I don't know, the best. The church in the Middle Age, it's customary to represent several events of the same table. The church conveys a feeling of eternity, and from the perspective of eternity, subspace. The world forced to think about interest payment days and transportation route, geography, and time to configure their calculation base. In Florence, Fra Angélico also painted those cells in the convent of San Marco, where Cosimo de' Medici wants to retire to meditate, and according to his enemies, do penance for his greed. The painter living condition are also reflected in this work. The scene standing of a gold background of the main panel of the altarpiece remain deeply rooted in medieval tradition, while in the table of the legend, the pious vision competes with the new attempt to capture the early reproduce the space through the perspective. He tried to penetrate the spatial dimension through the mountain range that rise toward the bottom, also the only resort to the law on perspective in rare occasion. What can be seen in the bowsprit of the central shift, which seemed to rise vertical instead of protruding inclined toward the front of the lift sailboat, whose stand and forecastle have been represented from different point of views. Regarding light, an essential element in this spatial representation, it can be seen that the mountains are illuminated from the bottom left, while the characters in the foreground receive a dim light that comes from the front to the left. The figures are reproduced in the great detail, but the mountain and house has been simplified. The amazing thing about the table is that these antagonism don't know bottle at all. The painting offers a dreamlike image, like the representation of something supernatural on earth. The artist's biographer, Vasari, wrote in the 16th century about Fra Angélico figure that are so beautiful that they seem to have come out of paradise. That's all. Until tomorrow. Thanks for all. See you.